Welcome back. Today we are taking a look at the Work Your Light Oracle cards by Rebecca Campbell, and the artwork is by Danielle Noel. So I acquired this deck a little while ago. It's done really well. It's sustained test of time really well so far. The box is just an open close box, and both sides have the same message, which is you are the oracle. And okay, so nice sturdy box with the thumb notches for ease of opening, and I just really like the design on the box because these are Egyptian and you know how much I love Egypt. Okay, all right, it comes with a book, a very nice guidebook, and the guidebook will tell you a little bit about the deck. It will give you, most importantly, the connection to your deck, so you can connect. There's a little meditation to do to connect to your deck when you first get it, and I find that this is actually quite helpful. It gives you the cards so that you're welcome, stepping into the space, and so this is where it starts with explaining about the suits. Okay, and why is it important? Because the oracle decks don't often have suits, and this one is working with suits that are completely unexpected and unusual. Okay, so you have suit 1 confirmation cards, suit 2 inquiry cards, suit 3 action cards, suit 4 activation cards, and finally suit 5 is transmission cards. So I have put the deck in the order so that you can see what each of the suits actually look like, if that makes sense. Okay, so this is the attunement that you will follow when you first get your deck. It starts on page 12, she explains a little bit, and then it goes on page 13. Then she guides you into opening sacred soul space, and I would definitely encourage you to do that. And then she gives you, Rebecca Campbell gives you a few bits about the spreads. Okay, so she's got 1 card spread, 2 card spread, 3 card spread, and then the Cosmic Cross, which is an 11 card spread, which I love. I get on really well with it, and it works very well. Okay, it's just a slight different take on a Celtic cross spread, which we use in tarot. Okay, so then it goes into explaining each of the cards, and for a lot of the cards there's either an inquiry. So if you're in the inquiry suit, there's going to be inquiry. If you are in the action, it asks you to take an action and work your light activation for the activation cards, and then the transmission cards have a little transmission exercise for each of the cards. Okay, so I love working with this deck. It is varied. I love the fact that it's got the suits. For me, I love the starseed, but I can't help myself but work on and with this deck as well. Okay, so I'm just fiddling around with the light just now, just to make sure that you get the proper view of these, that they're not too overexposed. Okay, let's try it like this. That looks kind of okay. All right, so the ever if unfolding rows. So let me just check that I do have them in the right order. Sorry about that. Yes, okay, so we're starting with suit 1, which is the confirmation cards. Okay, and already you get drawn in. I will do for my Patreons a little article on the rose symbology and the peony symbology, okay? But then you've also got all of this drawing you in. Okay, the back of the cards is absolutely beautiful as well, totally in keeping with the theme. So that one's pretty self-explanatory. Pause, postpone, say no. So you can see that each of the card has the main theme of the card, and it has keywords as well associated with the cards. So we're still in the first suit, which is the confirmation cards. You're already doing it. And then we go into suit 2, which is the inquiry cards. So here you're going to have, instead of keywords, you're going to have a question. Okay. What is your soul calling you to do? And again, I would just ponder these. I would ponder the art. I would ponder the question. I wouldn't necessarily dive in straight into the book. But of course, you do what you're compelled to do, okay? We're not... yeah, there's only so much that we can take from others, and sometimes we have to figure things out for ourselves, and sometimes we will dive into the book because that's just the way we are at that particular point. Okay, so carrying on with those. So we're still in those inquiry cards, and I do love the Priestess and the Star Mother. And the Starseed, of course. Are you Starseed? Are any of you guys Starseed? Trust the niggle. Trust your path. So remember, they are in their suit and in alphabetical order, okay? Which is why they look like they are in alphabetical order. And then we move on to the action cards. Break the chain. So just, I'm going to be quiet. I'm going to let you take in the beautiful art of Danielle Noel. And, you know, these cards will bring you to question more things. They will bring you into understanding things in a deeper way. It's particularly true of that one. Some are totally obvious, and some need a little bit more thought. Play. Share your voice. Do love that. Do love that completely. Now, this one has a particular meaning to me, the Sisterhood of the Rose. And like I said before, I'm going to do an article particularly on this because I think it deserves a little bit more airtime. Soul family. Take a break. Do love it. You see her, she's there. And then we're going into the activation cards, starting with the Age of Light. And one of my favorites, Awakening. This one, very important card as far as I'm concerned. Council of Light, very important card. If you want to know more about the Council of Light, there is loads of different things that we can do. And there's a few meditations that we can do as well. For those of you that are a Patreon. Great Gathering. Imrama. Keepers of the Earth. And that's already the themes that are contained in this deck are themes that are making you expand, but not just upwards, but outwards and downwards as well, so that you're taking in the whole of creation, not just focusing on one aspect. Protection, which looks like one of Danielle Noel's moon card, actually, now that I think about it. Transformation and unbound. And then my favorite cards, the transmission cards. Akasha, Lemuria, Intakan, and Pleiades. And that is that, as they say. So I think the deck is 44 cards. And I love the way it explores all the different themes that it does. I think it's got a much bigger reach than a lot of oracle decks do, because it is more about working your light and less about a particular specialization or a speciality within the working your light. It really is about embracing the whole of the working your light, if that makes sense. So for those of you that have it, don't hesitate, dig into it, read with it, get familiar with it, enjoy it. You know, it's a fantastic tool to have, and it's absolutely beautiful to look at. You know, I really enjoy working with just sheer beautiful cards like that. You know, it's harder when a deck doesn't talk to you artistically. I always find that if the deck talks to you artistically, it's that much easier to get drawn in. So hopefully it talks to you in that way. Maybe you can let us know in the comments how you feel about it and if you're getting on with it. And I wish you good luck. Please post your questions and your comments, and I look forward to reading them.